The IMF projects global growth to inch up from 3.1% in 2015 to 3.5% in 2017. Growth in the advanced economies is projected at 1.9% in 2016, with the US pegged growth at 2.4%, Europe at 1.5%, and Japan at 0.5%. Growth in the emerging markets in 2016 is projected at 4.1%, most of it coming from China, India, and the ASEAN region. Consequent to the UK government's decision to leave the European Union, the IMF sees a near-term risk in the global economy, arising mainly from macroeconomic and financial market impacts. The direct impact on trade with India would depend on the renegotiation of bilateral and multilateral trade agreements between the UK and India, and by currency competitiveness. I believe the overall impact may not be highly significant insofar as it relates to India. Among all the developing economies globally, India was indeed an exception, with growth at 6.3%. Given the robust macroeconomic indicators, decline in commodity prices, and a thrust on fiscally prudent government policies, India is positioned to weather global volatility and even show modest growth. Consumption is expected to rise on three accounts. Firstly, the government's impetus on infrastructure development and allied sectors. Second, the implementation of the recommendations of the 7th Central Pay Commission on pay and pension benefits. And third, the prediction of a good monsoon in 2016 that should drive growth in the agriculture sector and therefore help revive rural demand. These will spur the investment cycle and bolster economic growth. India's cement demand remained passive for most of FY16, particularly on account of low demand from the housing sector. However, there were signs of demand recovery in the last quarter of last year. This is reflected in double-digit growth, riding largely on higher infrastructure spending. Amidst this background, your company has achieved a steady performance for FY16. Net sales stood at rupees 23,841 crores, vis-a-vis rupees 22,656 crores, a 5% increase over the previous year. Profit before interest, depreciation and tax was rupees 4,851 crores as against rupees 4,569 crores. On a consolidated basis, net sales stood at rupees 25,281 crores, vis-a-vis rupees 24,065 crores. Profit before interest, depreciation and tax was rupees 5,109 crores as against rupees 4,777 crores. As you are perhaps aware, your company has entered into definitive agreements with Jaiprakash Associates Limited for the acquisition of its cement plants in Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, and Andhra Pradesh. Your directors have also approved a scheme of arrangement between your company, Jaiprakash Associates Limited, JP Cement Corporation Limited, and their respective shareholders and creditors for the acquisition of cement plants of a total capacity of 21.2 million tons per annum at an enterprise value of rupees 16,189 crores. The proposed transaction is essentially a geographic market expansion which will lead to your company's entry into markets where it does not have a presence today. These include Satna cluster in Uttar Pradesh East and Madhya Pradesh East, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, and coastal Andhra Pradesh. These operations will be strengthened by the consequent technological upgradation and enhancement in capacity utilization on an ongoing basis. This, in turn, will lead to creating synergies in manufacturing, distribution, and logistics. As a result, advantages such as economies of scale and creation of efficiencies by reducing lead time to market will also be achieved. Alongside, it will enhance competitiveness and, in turn, benefit consumers. The transaction, as always, is subject to the approval of shareholders and creditors, the high courts, and all the regulatory approvals as may be required. We expect it to be consummated within the next 12 months. Your company's cement capacity then will stand augmented to 91.1 million tons per annum, including the capacity of its overseas operations. It is with great pride that I record that UltraTech is not only the largest cement player in India, but will also become the 5th largest on the world stage. In response to the growing demand for building material, your company has commissioned cement grinding units at Jhajjar in Haryana, Dankuni in West Bengal, and Patliputra in Bihar. A cement bulk terminal went on stream at Pune in Maharashtra. With the commissioning of these assets, your company's cement capacity now stands at 66.3 million tons per annum. Also, with the addition of 26 megawatts of heat recovery systems, waste heat recovery systems during the year, the total waste heat recovery capacity is now 59 megawatts. Besides this, your company has 717 megawatts of thermal power generating capacity, both of which together cater to more than 88% of the company's total power requirement. As I look ahead, I feel optimistic. India, as we are all witnessing, is moving on to a higher growth trajectory. The government's thrust on infrastructure development, housing, smart cities, and the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, among other projects, augur well for the cement sector. The revival of the Indian economy will, of course, be yet another booster, and I expect UltraTech to perform even better. Your directors have recommended a dividend of rupees 9.5 per equity share. This would translate into an outgo of rupees 261 crores. Your company will also absorb the corporate tax on dividend amounting to rupees 53 crores, and on account of this, the total payout will be rupees 314 crores. I would now like to brief you on your company's performance in the first quarter of 2016-17. Your company attained net sales of rupees 6,182 crores, profit before interest, depreciation, and tax of rupees 1,573 crores, and profit after tax, a growth of profit after tax of 28%. On a different yet connected plane, I am pleased to reiterate that your company has resolutely striven towards inclusive growth and sustainable development. Under the aegis of the Aditya Birla Center for Community Initiatives and Rural Development, led by Mrs. Rajeshri Birla, your director, your company has been working in 407 villages in proximity to its manufacturing plants. As a caring corporate citizen, your company aims to actively contribute to social and economic development in the communities in which it operates.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/etnow, and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at etnowlive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/etnow.